I like your hair.
Aw, you're such a nice guy. Does that mean you'd be down to go on a date with me this weekend? Honestly, I do really like you, but more as a friend. Look, I just don't want to make anything awkward between us. Is that okay? Can we just stay friends? Please? Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely. Friends. We could be friends. Why does this keep happening? You think you're a nice guy. Matter of fact, you want to be a nice guy. But it seems like every time you go after the girl you like, she ends up crushing all your hopes and dreams. It's almost like the nice guy syndrome is haunting you, humiliating you. Why is it the nicest guys never seem to get the girl? And then that girl goes and hooks up with some asshole who you know is gonna treat her like shit. And after she gets her little heart broken, she's gonna come running back to you looking for that BFF guidance. And because you're so goddamn nice, you're gonna give it to her. And then she's gonna leave your house and go smash him again. Gold world we live in, man. It's 2016. I'm fresh out of high school and there's this girl I like. Let's just call her Vanessa. She just moved into my city from California right before graduation. I graduated in 2015, by the way. And somehow, in a very organic way, she worked her way into my friend group. As soon as I saw her, I'm not gonna lie, I was so attracted to her. I thought she was super cute. I wanted her, but for some reason, I couldn't muster up the courage to actually go tell her this. So because of this, we never really made it past surface level conversation. I'm talking about the smallest of small talk. So here I am just trying to do my very best to come off real genuine. And over time, we got a little bit more comfortable with each other, so now I'm laughing and I'm giggling at all her jokes. I'm entertaining all her conversations that I really didn't care about, but all in the hopes that she would think that I'm a nice guy. And what's so crazy is I felt like it was working. Over time, it started to feel like she was opening up to me more, and I really started to think to myself, yo, I really like this girl. Things were going great, and I finally decided I think it's time we can go on an official date. So me being the cornball I was, somehow I mustered up the courage to type out this super long cringy text message. Don't remember it word for word, but I promise you it was weak as shit. I think it went something like, hey Vanessa, if you're free this weekend, I'd love to take you out for dinner. I don't know if you know this, but I really like you and I appreciate you so much. I think we've been building up a nice relationship over the past few months, so if you're interested, it would be great to hang out. Like,
oh my god, bro, like what was I doing?
I ain't gonna lie, bro, some of the shit I used to do is just repulsive now when I think about it. But y'all know what it is, man. You know I'm always gonna get on here and tell my family the truth. There's nothing to cap about. So yeah, I said that shit. And when I tell you, bro, she broke my heart. She didn't even have the decency to match my energy, bro. Hey, Berto, I really like you too, but as a friend, I hope that's okay. And the worst part is, my dumbass sent another paragraph trying to rationalize and validate her feelings. It's okay that you wanted to be friends. I just wanted you to know the truth about how I felt. We still went out that night. I paid for the food. And I sat there, smiling, pretending to enjoy every second of that night. And what's even worse, deep down, I knew how ashamed of myself I was. When a woman says she wants to be with a nice guy, yeah, she wants to be with a man that's gonna treat her right. That goes without saying. But there's a huge difference between the nice guy and the guy that she's actually talking about. If you guys don't know, my name's Berto, and here on this channel, I talk about my life, I tell stories about my shortcomings, and I try to give you guys as much value as possible to learn from my mistakes. I want every single person to become the best version of themselves. So if you like content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to get recommended more of my videos. Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to stop being the nice guy. So here's the thing, bro. You don't want to be the nice guy, but you also don't want to be a complete piece of shit. And the first step of achieving this is being neutral. You might be thinking, how do you stay neutral? What does that even mean? I promise you it's not that complicated. The same way you treat your guy friends, and I'm not talking about the guy friends that you low-key don't even really like because they make you feel like shit, so then you pretend to be somebody that you're not when you're around them. No. Talking about your brothers, the one that you consider to be your true friends. The friends that you mess around with, the friends that you argue with, the ones that you get in stupid debates with all the time, but then a few hours later you guys are hanging out like nothing happened. However you act around those guys is typically your neutral state. You're comfortable enough with these guys to let them know, hey, I don't agree with what you're saying, or I actually don't want to do that, even though they want you to. You're able to stand your ground with those guys, be yourself, and not feel guilty about it. That feeling right there, in most cases, is your neutral zone. And this is where you need to be when you're operating with women. Because if you're not, usually what happens is when you're talking to a girl that you like, you start to put her on this pedestal. You start looking at her like she's this perfect being, someone that's above life itself. The possibilities of you even being with her is almost like a dream, something that doesn't even feel realistic. And because of this pedestal that you have her on, when you finally have a chance to talk to her, naturally all you can do is be overly nice. You don't want to mess the moment up. Whether you're always complimenting her, whether you're always agreeing with whatever she's saying, or you're entertaining her bullshit even though you know it's bullshit. Every conversation has zero substance, but you're gonna sit there and act like it's super interesting to you. This is what happens when you put a woman on a pedestal. All of a sudden, you're talking to her like she's some sort of goddess, and she's gonna zap you out of existence if you say the wrong thing. You need to be able to speak to women like normal human beings the same way you would speak to your boys. Yeah, she might be beautiful, bro, but I promise you she ain't no goddess. The men that are able to get women truly obsessed with them are men that don't put women on pedestals. In my last video, I talked about how to be mysterious and how to make a woman be obsessed with you. Go check that out if you haven't already. And a big part of that is treating them as if they are normal, because they are. Just imagine you're with the most attractive girl that you could ever possibly think of. And instead of sitting there simping like, oh my God, Vanessa, I'm so happy for your time. I appreciate you. You're beautiful. You guys are just sitting there being cool. You're kicking shit and making her laugh. And in the slight chance she starts talking about some bullshit that you don't really want to talk about, you say, hey, I don't really want to speak about that right now. And yeah, she might look a little confused for a second, but she will respect you because men don't sit around and gossip. Subconsciously, this is going to be way more attractive to her than the latter. You got to start breaking shit down on a primal level. Obviously, there are outliers. Most women, they want men to lead and set the tone of a conversation. If you're just this super sweet guy that can't stick up for himself and be transparent, you don't think she's going to pick up on that energy, bro? Especially if she's the type of woman that's been around a man that put her in her place before. Think about this. Men don't even respect men without a backbone. That's why you hear a very popular saying going around, stay away from yes men. These yes men typically tend to be really nice guys. Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Oh yeah, I'd love that. Oh, for sure, we should do it. Whatever makes you happy, man. Mr. Nice Guy, yes man. Are you seeing the pattern here? At the end of the day, you gotta grow some balls, dude. You wanna be able to be yourself in front of anybody, especially the girl you like, and not just some puppet that's gonna say anything to make her happy. Because I promise you, it's not going to work out. Like, yeah, you might make her happy, but every time she thinks of you, she's just always gonna think of the guy that's always validating her feelings, and that alone is usually gonna turn you into a person that's just a yes man and a friend. Just put yourself in her position. You're not gonna wanna be intimate with a puppet. Now here's the sad truth. I'm gonna be super transparent here, and some people aren't gonna like what I'm gonna say, but fuck it. I'm here to actually try to help you guys. I don't think this is the only way to get out of the nice guy phase, but what happens to a lot of guys, and it definitely happened to me, is that after you've been the nice guy for so long, you almost eventually start to get angry at everyone for shitting on you for so long. Like, why the fuck am I being so nice if everybody's just gonna keep taking advantage of me? Nobody's appreciating me. And this anger eventually starts to build up into this, you know what, just fuck everybody. I'm not gonna lie, this is a dark and scary place. Even to this day, there's a lot of guys that still live with this mentality. You hear it all the time. Fuck these bitches, girls ain't shit, I don't need a woman in my life. I'd argue that's a little bit suspect, but hey, to each his own. But you know the guys I'm talking about. And then you got the guys that want to brag about, oh, I slept with 10 different girls this week, I'm a stud. A lot of them tend to be on that super red pill bullshit. I think that's bad, it's negative, and it's not somewhere that you should strive to be, nor be that type of person. And if you're a real man, you wouldn't want that for yourself. But what I will say is, as someone that has gone through that, being in this place does allow you to start to take women off of that pedestal. And if you're mature enough, your time in that space can teach you that I don't need to be nervous or scared when talking to girls, because they're just like me, human, normal, a fuck up. You start to realize, why am I being nice all the time? Nobody gives a fuck. If you can be mature enough and take that energy and channel it in a very positive way, I genuinely think that can be something that will help men stop being this nice guy. It's not about projecting that negative energy towards everybody and being a bad person, but you can start to realize you don't need to treat people better than they actually deserve to be treated just because you like them. I'm sure there's somebody in your life right now, whether it's your family, your friends, anyone, you love them to death, but you don't always agree with them, and you're very open and transparent about letting them know that you're not rocking with what they're saying right now. And that is a very positive and beautiful thing, when you can be yourself around somebody and disagree with them and still have a great relationship. There's nothing wrong with being a nice guy, but you never want to be a pushover, a yes man, or pretend to be somebody that isn't even yourself. You want to be a proud and confident man, somebody that doesn't tolerate nonsense and stands on his value. Your time is valuable, so sure, you're happy to be there with her, but she damn sure should be happy to be there with you too. Don't allow yourself to forget that. If you change that in your mindset, I promise you, women are gonna start respecting you and taking you way more seriously instantly, because that's really what it comes down to most of the time. It's not that she doesn't like you. It's a good thing that you're a nice guy. Nobody wants to be around an asshole, but she can feel that you don't respect yourself. So how can she respect you? She can't take someone seriously that doesn't respect themselves. Shit, you wouldn't. You sitting there pretending to like all the things she likes. If we're being honest, you're just faking it, and it's coming off as fake. And here's the thing, that's something that assholes tend not to do. People that aren't very considerate of other people's feelings, they typically tend to have a it's my way or the highway mentality. So they're always keeping it real because all they care about is their own feelings. And believe it or not, obviously there's situations where that's a bad thing, but it can come off as very confident, which ultimately is very attractive to women. Women are attracted to confident men. He might just fuck around and say, yeah, I'm cheating on you. So what? At least he's keeping it real, and that's why he's cracking instead of you. Remember what I said earlier. You don't want to go so far down that path to where you become a bad person. Staying neutral is the best place to be. And that honestly goes for most scenarios in life in general. When you're overly emotional, you're probably going to make a bad decision. If you're too happy, you're probably going to make the wrong decision. If you're too sad, probably going to make the wrong decision. And if you're too angry, you're probably going to make the wrong decision. So being neutral is a good place for decision making. Stay calm, stay poised, and control your emotions regardless of what's going on around you, because that is the true superpower.
Where you at, Berto?